Oh, look, we got it going. Hey, so I switched schools. It's been 2 months since I went to my first Jiu Jitsu class, and I've been humbled a lot. That's, I think, probably the biggest takeaway. Um, the place I originally signed up was no gi, and I really like a lot of aspects about that. But I ended up going to a different place because I wanted to feel at home. And I don't know that that's what everyone is looking for. And I don't know that that's what you should be looking for. I just know it's what I needed. Um, the place where I switched, I didn't have to ask anyone to roll. And no one said, "Do you want to roll?" They just invited me. They just said, "Let's roll." And in addition to that, the instructor reached out and invited me back after my initial visit. And out of 15 places, only one did that. Um, and that made an absolute, total world of difference. I don't think that anyone would want to feel like they were impeding someone else's workout or doing anything except contributing to a positive learning environment. And if I have to continually assert myself into an environment rather than being asked, I'm just not going to feel as at home. So there are a lot of different factors that can go into that. I don't really need to address them all right now. I'm just very grateful for what I've been able to find and experience. Um, the biggest challenge I'm having at this point is learning my limits and adhering to them. The second biggest challenge is learning the dynamics between the other students, um, and being able to contribute to their learning experience the best way that I can, which is at this point probably at a very low level. I get a better resolution picture the more I go, but that ties into my first roadblock, which is learning my limits. Um, I have a weightlifting background, and the beautiful thing about lifting weights is that I'm in control of all the variables. So I have the luxury of pushing myself to a breaking point because I know where that breaking point is. I've measured it so many times. I can add a couple more reps, or I can add a couple more pounds, or I can subtract by the same, or I can change the tempo, but everything I have control over. And I think that's wonderful because it has allowed me to sculpt a physique and take care of my health with essentially no injuries for the past 12 years. And that's, I mean, that's a big accomplishment. But it means I've also never experienced recovering from injuries, which is now what I'm experiencing is a lot of small injuries, muscle tweaks, bruises. Right now, my ribs are so bruised. Let me tell you, I am going to value guard so much. Like, that is moving forward. That's going to be my beginner strategy, okay? I don't know what'll happen in the future, but it seems like an excellent beginner strategy to just say, don't let him pass my guard. Just don't let him pass my guard. My ribs will be fine as long as we stick to that. So we'll see how well that goes. Meanwhile, I can work on just getting past other people's guard. Where were we? All right. So what's happening is I'm rolling 3 or 4 rounds, and then I'm getting tired enough that I'm allowing my body to be thrown around in a way that I otherwise probably would not. So that's showing me that my initial mindset, which was, wow, rolling is a great workout. This is fantastic conditioning. I love it. Okay, sure. it is a great workout. It is fantastic conditioning. But if you were conditioned to roll, you'd be able to roll more rounds with less injury. So we need to find something else that is actually more intense than rolling for conditioning. And I can only think of one thing, folks. There's only one thing more intense than rolling. And that's running, okay? It could also be swimming, and I do swim, but I don't swim with the intensity that's going to exceed rolling. So I think we're back at running, okay? I have not run since officer candidate school in 2015, where I fractured a hip, okay? And I ran that final PFT on the fractured hip, and then I went to the ER, and I was like, peace, I think that's the last run I'm ever gonna do. So we'll see how that goes. I've got a couple imbalances, a couple things I need to work on to make running a long-term viable conditioning solution. But, you know, just like anything else, if I set my mind to it, we can make it happen. Man. I'm just so great. I am so grateful to have found this. It just came along at the perfect time, exactly what I needed. I have asked every woman that I've had the chance to ask, how do you keep from losing your hair? Okay, I took a couple inches off the last few days. I've been cutting my hair at home myself since I was in high school. I once broke up with a guy for chastising me over that, by the way. He was like, why don't you go get it done professionally? I was like, bye. Do you know how much it costs to get it done professionally? I could spend that on my Jiu Jitsu membership. Anyways, so your hair gets really damaged rolling around on the mat. So I've been looking for the perfect hairstyle. And when I ask women, they say, oh, this is just how it goes. You can't really do anything about it. Well, I have a hard time accepting that. So I've come up with a hairstyle that I think is going to work, and I'm very excited to try it. And I'm going to hair mask during it to keep all the little frizzies down. I'm going to use this guy. I use quite a lot of it. I use it under my swim cap too. So we will see how that goes. I'll keep you posted. This is update month 2. So I don't know if I'll do monthly updates. I'm not sure what the deal is. But any feedback you have on conditioning and recovery, super open to that. Help a lady out. And for anybody who cares, I'm on week 13 for my aligners. And again, I'm pretty ecstatic. Just this last little guy right here. I reached out to Bite probably 2 weeks ago now and said, hey, my tracking's a little off. Can you send me a new kit? And they said, why don't you backtrack and go back until you find one that fits exactly how it should fit. Well, the thing is, there isn't one that fits exactly how it should fit. But I mean, it's only 2 more weeks. I think that they're going to be close enough, and I'm just going to proceed. I've already gone and reached out to another company to get my retainer, so I know I'm not going to have to wait for that. I'll still try and get the one from Bite on time, obviously. But I like to have backups of things. I like to be prepared. It makes me feel good. So, anyways, if you are here and watching, I am honored, and thank you. And I'll see you next month.